Black Panther, survivability reduction. He's going to get less bonus health when he hits targets that are marked with vibranium, and his max HP is going down from 300 to 275. Blade, they're wanting to make his sword form better. This is going to gain a 10% almost, close to 10% increase in damage from his sword from 22 to 24. Lots more damage out of the sword. So up here, magic. It looks like a lot, and that's just because her team up anchor is going away, and then the whole right side here is basically just adjustments to her damage based off of the fact that she's no longer a team of anchor. The cool change to magic is over on the left hand side, reducing the charge time of her slash. So when she charges up her right click and unleashes that slash, 1.2 seconds instead of 1.8 seconds. That's a lot faster to be able to get those slashes off. And then they're adding a new effect to the slash, which makes it pierce enemies, so it can go through multiple targets, and it is going to reduce the cooldown on your stepping disc by 1 second per enemy hit. Moon Knight, they said, was getting a buff, and I don't think this was the buff that anybody was expecting. His right-click Moonblade is getting 2 charges instead of 1, and they're on a 6-second to recharge cooldown. That's a lot more burst potential. If he gets off 2 full Moonblades into an Ankh with targets on it, that's a lot of damage, and his teamfight damage is going to boost a lot here. Psylocke is getting a nerf, decreasing the retrieval damage of her shurikens down a little bit. Really skilled Psylocks are going to get a little bit less out of her. Lower end Psylocks aren't going to see very much out of this change because they don't land all of their shurikens anyways, so the retrieval full damage isn't as much of a hindrance to them. Scarlet Witch. First, huge change. Mystic Projection, she can be healed while she's phased. This is a big news for her because shifting is really her defensive state to be able to get away from enemies, and being able to be healed while she's not targetable by enemies will let you keep her alive way better. Next up, her ultimate. Recently, they buffed it up to 800 damage to make sure that nobody could survive it. People were still surviving it, so they've now increased it to 9,999 damage. If you get hit by her ultimate, you are dying. Next up, it's getting a new effect that's going to constantly pull enemies that are within 15 meters to her towards the center. If her ultimate isn't going to go off successfully exploding and killing people, it is still going to now be able to pull people into the center, grouping them up for your team to be able to handle them better. Really cool change, and not at all what I was expecting for a change here on Scarlet Witch. Squirrel Girl, we're getting a reduction in her acorn damage from 110 down to 100, and then her right-click Squirrel Blockade is getting a 15 damage bonus, and the cooldown on her reset, her cooldowns, is going from 10 seconds up to 15. Winter Soldier, Trooper's Fist, new effect. Second Strike now applies a 1 second debuff to enemies hit, preventing them from using mobility abilities. If it hits you, it's now going to have a second strike that makes it so you can't dash away and locks you down for a second, lining you up for an easier, again, right into your face.